Here we have the all-new 2026 GMC Acadia Denali Ultimate. This one's a front-wheel drive model, comes in sterling metallic, and then we do have the woodland mahogany leather interior. The powertrain consists of a 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, and that's made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. And really excited about this new trim here. As we come around to the front end here, we do get our LED headlamps along with the LED daytime running lights and LED fog lights. The lights don't dance like that. That's just how my camera's picking them up. But I love the new trim here. Of course, you can tell because it's kind of galvanized metal grille there. Love that look. It just really gives it a bold stance over all the Acadias, but even the typical Acadia Denali. Now, beautiful touch here. These are going to be 22-inch aluminum wheels. Great design there. I like how the color matches, specifically the sterling metallic and the trim. We have chrome, and then we have a little bit of the black accents around the doors there. But passive keyless entry on all 4 doors. And then to the door panel, this is one of the reasons I love the Denali Ultimates. I love this woodland mahogany here. It feels great, looks great, just looks top of the line. Power door lock controls, memory seat functions. We have express down on all the doors except the driver's side gets one touch up and down. Power folding side mirrors with blind spot monitors. Those are heated as well. And we get the Bose Performance Series sound system. Now we can pop the lift gate there. Electronic parking brake, drive modes, auto stop toggle, hood release. We do get a power tilt telescoping steering wheel. And then here's our power driver's seat, which includes 4-way power lumbar support and power massage. But absolutely love, again, this interior. But a huge shout out to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this Acadia Denali Ultimate today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But 20 miles per gallon city, 26 highway, kind of hard to see the window sticker through the tint, so I just wanted to show that MSRP of like 66, 638. I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs, so we're gonna check out the leg room back here. And pretty good space. Knees aren't even close to the back of the seat. I think the hairs might be brushing a little bit. Yeah, there it is. But when I sit all the way back, that's my space there. Seat back pockets are on both sides. Rear AC vents, and then we have 3-stage heated outboard seats, 2 USB-C charge ports, 3-prong household plug-in there. And there's a look at the front from back here. Panoramic roof. That's what the sunshade looks like. There's the 3rd row. And then we get a USB-C and a bottle holder on either side in that 3rd row. So plenty of room to connect devices, hold your bottles, whatever. Child locks are manual on the side, lock, unlock. Fuel filler there. And as we come around to the back end here, full LED tail lights, quad tip exhaust, and again, a nice look on this Denali Ultimate. If you need to tow, the hitch or receiver is behind that cover there. Power lift gate. This has auto sense too. When you have the key fob and you walk to the back, it'll open by itself. And then here's the space behind the 3rd row. A little storage underneath here. And then we do have the top tethers integrated on the back of the seats, all 5 of the rear seats there. And then we have a 12-volt down here. We can power fold the 3rd row. You don't want to have that 2nd seat up far enough so they'll fold flat, and then you can power release the 2nd row as well. Now as we come around to the rear passenger side, we can tumble the seats forward or fold them flat. So to tumble it, you can hit this button here. And then you also have a button right here as well from the 3rd row. And you just kind of put it back into place, and then you can fold it flat right there. So pretty easy to do. And then our anchors are right in here. But can't get enough of this leather. It looks fantastic. Power front passenger seat here. Gets that same 4-way power lumbar with massage function. And then we have a nice big section underneath the radio where 12 volt is, little storage for a handbag or something like that. There's the glove compartment. Love that wood grain. And as in most of the Denali Ultimates, they just did a great job. GM did it, like putting stuff where it needs to go, having wood grain here, having the nicer trim there. It's just a beautiful specimen. But there's a 2.5 turbo 4. Now before we hop inside, I'm just gonna show off the blinkers. There's a look at the back. Side mirror. There are the front blinkers. Let's hop in the driver's seat. Nice leather wrap steering wheel here. There's the horn, Super Cruise indicator, or sensor is there, and then the indicator is there, excuse me. Love the newer screen that we have in the new body style Acadia. We have this vehicle status where we can go in here and see tire pressure monitors, air filter life, oil life, and all of that there. Or you can go into the sub menus down below and you can see them in a different form, if you will. Now we have the Google Assistant system. We have Google Maps, AM, FM, XM radio, Bluetooth. We also have wireless CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility, Wi-Fi hotspot, the auto park assist, ambient lighting, and then our dual zone automatic climate controls, the auto climate for the rear as well. We can control everything from the screen. And then we have most of what we need at all times down here below, including the 3-stage heated cooled seats on the screen there. But we can adjust fan speed several different ways from the bottom, cut the whole thing on or off. And then your headlamp controls are right in here. If you want to get to those fog lights, just kind of go deeper into the screen there. You also get access to the window lockout, the traction control, the park assist, the cameras. You do have a backup camera, front camera, curbside view. So this thing does have it all, even a heads-up display. And I just think they did a really good job with this trim level. It is, it's top of the line in my opinion. Now we do have a shortcut again for the headlights, the controls, and then the lane keeping system there. You can toggle that on or off. And then our settings down here. Vehicle settings include rear seat reminder, teen driver, buckle to drive, the Super Cruise, lane change. And then we also have access to change our units right here, or our language right up here. Now down here, this tray hides your wireless charging pad and your USB-C, USB-A duo there that plugs directly into the radio. Bottle holders are here. And then we do have our center console cubby space right here with a removable tray. Nice bright light in there as well. And then as that sunshade goes back, I love the kind of Alcantara feel right here, that carpeted felt, whatever that is, that you see on these Ultimates. It just makes it look that much more luxurious in here. We can tilt or slide the roof. This is a one-touch slide. We're gonna see how far back it goes. So pretty nice. Hit it a second time, goes almost behind that second row skylight. So a very big opening. And there's a look at the back from up here. Sunglasses holder. Here are those sunroof controls here. Hazards are there, OnStar, rear camera mirror. And then we do have our vanity mirror right in here. Now, the steering wheel, left side stalk, blinkers, wipers, rear wipers, and there's the fluid there. For the shifter, hit the brake, pull for neutral, pulling up for reverse, pull down for drive. While in drive, we can activate the low mode, and then we can use the paddle shifters to go through the gears in the limiter. You can see what gear you're being held to in that bottom right-hand corner of the gauge cluster, and then you can just hit this for park. Behind the steering wheel on the left side, we can go through the track list, radio station presets, and behind on the right side, we can toggle volume up, down there. Cruise control, and then we have the Super Cruise once the adaptive cruise is enabled, and then you can hold this cancel button to change between adaptive and regular, vice versa. Set your speed, gap adjust for the adaptive cruise, and the forward collision alert there. And then we do have the voice recognition, Bluetooth, or the audio source, excuse me, we can go through here. And then mute, Bluetooth, heated steering wheel toggle. This goes through the gauge faces. You can change those. And then that heads-up display right in front. And you can change those settings in the screen. Push button start. Finally, here's the key fob with remote start. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2026 GMC Acadia Denali Ultimate out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Acadia Denali Ultimate, let me just say, and I said it in the walk around portion, they did such a great job with this interior. This feels like a traditional Denali Ultimate when I'm thinking about the Sierra 1500, when I'm thinking about the Yukon. Again, this feels like a top tier trim should. And I'm very happy with that. Now, it's very easy to drive the vehicle overall, but again, it doesn't feel cheap. It doesn't feel awkward. You're behind the wheel of something that feels like a six-figure vehicle, but it drives much easier than that. We're gonna give it a pull here. Here we go. Now, I didn't want to floor it, it's a new car, but gets up to speed pretty nicely. We do have that hands-free driving when that indicator becomes available. I might have to get over a lane before it activates. Oh, there it is. So really like that about these newer GM vehicles. If it does have the Super Cruise system, it doesn't necessarily have to be activated. It just has to kind of see what's going on, and you get the hands-free driving without having to have that full-on subscription and all that. So very impressed by the new system, and it just kind of takes GM Super Cruise to the next level in terms of ease of use. You don't have to kind of know the system or be in a certain situation. It just gets going. Like usually with Super Cruise, I have to get over a lane before this system will work, but now it's doing a great job just coming down the exit lane. Now as I get off the exit, this is where it kind of cuts out. But a huge thanks to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this Acadia Denali Ultimate today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. Now, in terms of what you get for the money, I will say I feel like this is well worth the almost 70 grand sticker price. And it's the little things like the wood grain, the mahogany, just how the leather feels. It feels like real leather. It doesn't feel like, you know, the manufacturer tried to cheap out wherever they could, maybe putting leather on the inserts and then leatherette on the sides. This feels phenomenal. I feel like I'm in a true Ultimate. And that's what you want if you're wanting something like this. You don't want a pickup truck. A Yukon's too much for you, whether it's money-wise or size. This was a very smart move by GM, in my opinion, and I think these are going to sell very well. Because again, for the money, it's not that much more expensive than a Denali, in my opinion, to get something that feels this premium. And it just feels so luxurious. I love having again, that galvanized grille, the signature with the Ultimate trim. I love having the Super Cruise, the panoramic roof, Again, this interior is fantastic, but the headliner as well is a really nice touch. And furthermore, just having the Bose Performance Series sound system, having the power seats with 4-way lumbar, massage, heated and cooled, I'm not missing anything. And that's what I want in a vehicle if I'm gonna pay this much for it. I wanna feel like I have everything that I want, that I could want. And then there's still a few things that I didn't know I wanted that I'm glad are here. But overall, I'm very excited about this trim. That's kind of the reason I haven't been able to stop talking the whole time I've been driving. It checks everything. It's so luxurious. It's so phenomenal. Say what you will about the powertrain if you rather have your V6, but you're not going to miss it when you're looking at all of this here. It just feels so modern, so luxurious. It's just want to eat it up. And just the overall ride quality is great. Visibility is pretty good. You can see the hood, but it's not really long, so it kind of helps you feel like this isn't as big as it is. And it's really not that big if you think about the alternatives. So with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2026 GMC Acadia Denali Ultimate.